Well, apparently feeling the heat of public anger against the killing of the devolution of power bill by the National Assembly, the House of Representatives has said the Legislative Act was a mistake that would be corrected upon its resumption from summer vacation in September.
We'll have the public affairs analyst, Wale Oshunde. He now joins us in the studio to discuss this particularly turnaround, if you like, by the House of Representatives. Glad to have you join us on TVC New York, Wale Oshunde.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for
Good. Yes, change is the only thing permanent, they say, and you're allowed to change your mind. Why not, if not? That's what the House, basically, House of Reps, has done by admitting that killing the devolution of powers bill was a mistake. In your own, if you like, calculation, what do you think necessitated this change of mind or this turnaround?
Thank you for having me. You know, I think you have even said it. The fact that they actually felt that the public, you know, didn't actually like what happened last week, or I mean, I think, yes, last week, they actually had to actually retort, and then, of course, they said, okay, yes, maybe we'll look at it again. And then do not forget that even the Senate President came out last week to actually say that the fact that they had some issues doesn't mean that the whole thing is actually dead, and so that they would still try to explore other means, you know, to ensure that this thing comes alive again. And so if they have said it, I think good enough. We still have some hope, and then I think this should be an opportunity to also let them know that they need to critically look at the components, I mean the elements making up, you know, the spreadsheet of our continuous existence, and you know, yes.
All right, I haven't failed to initially do the honorable thing of answering the call of Nigerians for the devolution of powers. Now they have decided to do it. It is, as they say, better late than never.
Absolutely.
Isn't it?
Absolutely.
Do you particularly agree that the excuse they gave of lumping many of the powers to be devolved into one single bill was the reason why they said? Okay, so but
the question is, why did they lump it up in the first place? I think they know what they're doing. You know, last week I was actually somewhere, and then I called it a political abracadabra, if you call it. I mean, if you agree with me, because I mean, you'd remember that some of those sections scaled through at the Senate, and then coming back to the House of Representatives, some of them did not actually scale through. Some of those ones that scaled through at the House of Reps did not actually pass at the Senate. And so you know that they probably know what they're doing. And then, I mean, I think you give it to this National Assembly, you know, they've been working hand in hand. And so why would it now be now, when you have to talk about alterations to the Constitution, that you now be talking about the fact that you lumped up certain clauses and certain sections of the amendment? And so, I mean, they know what they're doing clearly, and this should be another opportunity to let them know that Nigerians are waiting. I mean, you take, for instance, Lagos State. I mean, they've been trying to see what they can do about this flooding and what have you, this serious, horrendous situation of our waterways and what have you. But then they cannot completely take charge of what is going on the waterways, because this is, you know, another component of our constitutional life that is actually taken up by the federal government. And so we want these powers to be devolved to the states. I mean, how can you explain the fact that you have over 63 items on the exclusive legislative list, and then you have just a few of them, I mean, on the concurrent, yes, about 30 items on the concurrent legislative list. So what we are saying is devolve more powers to the states, you know, and then let each state develop, you know, its own resources for the betterment of their own people. It's a very simple thing.
I was listening to Jido Tutoju on the journalist hangout just a while ago before I came on air, and they were talking about the fact that the Senate President suddenly has again done an about face, and he has come out to say that Mangu is a clean man and he can handle that job, you know. And that sounds, well, what Jide was thinking, if he's watching, I'm sure he knows I'm just talking about what he said, that something fishy is here. So, in referring it to this,
yes,
like my colleague did ask, the last question she asked, are they just saving face, or are they just being politicians, trying to tell the people what they want to hear because they want to get back on board again?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that they would just say this and then go away with it without doing anything. To be honest with you, they are human beings as well. And then they have that right to feel the pulse of Nigerians. And then the moment Nigerians actually tell our their leaders that, excuse us, this is what we want you to do for us, I think it is incumbent on them to actually revisit the issue either ways. Because
are they really doing it? Well, I'm not cutting it short. If you remember the story, the gist of Melai,
yes,
and INEC and the people who want him called back.
Recalled
Yes.
him.
And then the Senate Deputy President saying that the people have to come and answer to them. People that elected you will come and answer to you.
That could be political. Don't just mind that. That could be
Why do you-
political. Honestly speaking, that could be political. But you see, going back to devolution of powers,
Yeah.
the honest truth is that the Nigerian people, you see, this country is now big and bigger than any politician. I think you should understand that. And then, you see, people know exactly what they want. They are the ones wearing these shoes. They know where it pinches them. And then look at the several agitations everywhere. All over the country. You're talking of Biafra, you're talking of Afenifere, you're talking of Niger Delta, you're talking of even the Hausa Fulani people. They're also talking about, a lot of things. And then the National Assembly has, their own people, spread across the length and breadth of Nigeria, listening and bringing feedbacks to them at every point in time. And so they know that the moment they fail to do the bidding of the Nigerian people, they are going to react to it. And that's the honest truth. And a lot of them want to return as senators and members of the House of Representatives. And if they fail to do what exactly the people who have sent them to Abuja to do, they know they are not going back there. And then probably the opportunity of seeking even higher positions, of political life would actually be cut short. It's a simple
Not
thing.
just seeking higher positions, but writing your name in gold.
Absolutely. Yes.
Doing what is right for the citizenry and not for yourselves.
Yes.
Well, we'll have to wait till September now to see how all this pans out.
I
right?
wanted to take him up on one more issue, actually. You talked about lumping of many powers.
Clauses into one
Yeah,
bill.
that's what Femi Gbajabiamila
Yeah.
said. The question then is, if they come back, are they going to divide all those things? How are they?
No, no,
because
no.
this is
That's
quite.
not for you to say. That's for them to deal with. The
That's
point
what I
is
wanted
they're going to
to-
have to pass it. However,
They do it.
Yeah, however they do it,
Absolutely.
they're going to have to get
I
it
agree
done.
with you completely.
Wale
All we
Oshunde.
want is for them to do the
Yeah.
right thing. And I think they will do it.
Wale Oshunde, public affairs analyst, would like to thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank
for
you so
being
much.
here.